Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. What a big one we've got. Hex 5-year birthday. Woo! That's pretty awesome, right? So we're going to get into all that. Hope you guys are having a good time out there. Let's see who's in the house. We've got a few people. We've got Lies Beneath in the house, but they're always the alpha. Hello, how are you today? Very, very good. We've got Hex, Pulse Hex, incentive for the win, absolutely. Of course, that is always the golden strategy for this channel. And of course, we have always covered it. So kind of cool. What else we got there? J Class in the house there. Let's go. Absolutely, let's go. 151. Hey folks, hope we're all keeping well. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well out there. Big shout out to J Class and Hunter in the chat there. Wookie's in the house. Hey. Lies Beneath. Woo! Yeah, get excited. And we're live. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, wasn't able to make. I think there was a multi-influencer stream on Maddie Allen's show, wasn't there, yesterday? I wasn't able to make that. Had some things on, but big shout out. I'm covering the Hex 5-year birthday today, though, because it's a huge deal. We're going to look back at a bit of history. Do you guys want to do that? We're going to flash back a bit of history around Hex since it was pretty much one of the top 4 or 5 coins last bull market, and we're looking forward to some big things this bull market as well for Hex. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about Shogun, X28, TitanX, and Magnus Opus, how that's going after 5 days. And we're also going to be looking at turbo and hyper results with the ratios there. So hopefully we'll be able to check that out and talk about some cool things happening. Obviously, we're going to get into everything else, stock market and interest rates. You know it. We're going to do it. So get into the chat there, get lively. If you got any alpha, drop it. And of course, just remember, we got 3 principles of the channel, family channel, no drama channel. We'll try to do that too. And what's freedom channel? Those are the kind of 3 principles there. Try to balance those out. So let's get into it. We got Fed Waller leaning towards backing a rate cut in December. We're looking for that 3rd rate cut for the year. We've had 75 basis points, or 0.75% so far, and we're looking for another 25 basis points, 0.25%. That would get us to 1% cut for the year, taking us from 5.5 down to 4.5% on the federal funds rate. Lower interest rates mean cheaper money. Also means that less impact on the economy over time. And also, people want to get higher yields, so they're going to go into more risky assets like crypto. So it's a win-win all around, right? We've got the perfect storm happening here. So we've got the Dow Jones finishing Monday there down 0.3%, 129 points to 44,782. Now, if we look at the max chart over here, we can see we're pretty much at record levels here. So pretty exciting times in stock market as well as crypto. S&P 500 up 0.25%, 15 points to 6,047 on the index. NASDAQ is up 1% at 185 points to 19,403. Now, we do have the NVIDIA, Blackwell AI chip coming. I'm not exactly sure. It must be coming up in the days ahead. It's in December, but that's a huge deal. Looking forward to see that come out. Now, the US dollar has been super strong, 106.39 on the rally, what they call a Trump rally. And it has been huge. So let's see how that holds up. We were expecting a bit of a devaluation with interest rates, but not really seeing that. In any case, we do have one of the Fed's ministers there pretty much talking, Fed president's talking about he's pretty keen for a interest rate cut. So let's have a quick look at that leading into it. So let's have a look at the Fed rate monitor there. 2 weeks and 2 days pretty much until the 18th of December, just before Christmas. We've got an interest rate cut decision, 64%, so almost 2/3 of the market expecting 25 basis points. That would get us down to 4.5% on the federal funds rate, so not too bad. What's January looking like, actually? Pretty much 4.5, no one expecting a rate cut in January. So that's pretty much it for the stock market and interest rates. I forgot to talk about the rest of commodities, but maybe we'll pick that up next time. Bitcoin at the moment is at $95,500, down 2%. Bitcoin dominance at 53.5%, so it's actually weakened off a lot. So we're looking for altcoin season. We've kind of had a little bit of a taster, but not sure we're quite there yet. Maybe into January, but we're expecting some big things in December for Bitcoin. Still, we got Ethereum there at 3,622. Had a little bit of a move, down 2.7% today. XRP, of course, has been the talk of the town. Look at this, up to $2.72, up 25% today. And of course, the big news around that, there's lots of positive news, but one of the big news, probably the one that's pushed it, is the ETF spot XRP ETF there. Wisdom Tree files that today. They've done their what they form S1 filing with this SEC. So that has been very excited. People are very bullish about that, and also I think it's pushed XRP into number 3 spot, isn't it? Past USDC stable. So XRP looking super duper strong there. I'm not a big fan of Ripple and all the rest of it, but and the inflation and the dumping. But the market's moving on at the moment. Can't argue with the price at the moment. $2.73. Wow, up at 27% today. Pretty crazy. Now let's quickly just have a quick look at some of the others that are in the market. We've got ADA at the moment up 6.3%. That's had a really good tier, isn't it? $1.19 at the moment. So that's done very well. It was down at 35 cents, so way back. So that's pretty good. Tron up 5.5%, 22 cents. And what else is looking pretty good? AVEX obviously up 14%, $51. What there? So we've got ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, I think that is 5.8% up to $13.58. That's kind of cool. What else? There's Solana's actually down 5.7%, $224. And Litecoin there is up 13%, $136. So Litecoin having a nice move as well. Those are kind of the overviews. Let's jump over to Bitcoin, have a quick look at that on there. Who we've got in the chat? We've got a few others in here. We've got history. What is history, says Wookie. Never forget this date. 8 ETH ends up saving our family's freedom, says X Freedom there. What else there? We got thank you for the streaming token. You're most welcome. Appreciate that. Thank you. And evening all from Cult DeFi. Hey, Cult DeFi, hope you're doing well. All right, so let's get into it. This is we're doing pretty well with our prediction model. Look at that, it's gone pretty well all together, and we're right now in the zone there. It was a bit early, but we're pretty much into December now, and we're in that 900K. But we've had added on the second part of December this potential upside to 120. So that's looking pretty good, I think. So because we've got Trump, Trump's coming in. How many days away is that? Trump inauguration, only 49 days away now. So getting closer and closer. What has the deep state and the Democrats got in store? What sort of bombs they're going to leave him? Obviously, they tried to put him into World War III before they left. But we'll see how else it goes. That is where we are, 49 days to go. And, of course, by the end of December rally, that would be pretty much 20 days, give or take, for that. So not too bad. Obviously, we're expecting bigger things as we enter this big bull market. With maybe 150 to 180K by March, kind of the typically end of where we see the bull market cycle, around 870 days. And then onwards, we're feeling, because of the perfect alignment, ETFs, Trump, pro-crypto president, strategic reserve, sovereign states and corporates now flooding capital into crypto, still a very small market. And crypto was at 3.3 trillion, something like that. Then we're looking at some big prices in this bull market cycle with the perfect lineup, interest rates being cut, proper economic management coming to town. It's going to be pretty good. So 240K is where Richard's got it. And of course, we definitely feel maybe $250,000, and we could have a double top here in the end of by the year, maybe towards the third quarter, somewhere there. So pretty bullish. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin returns. Where it's finished off November at 37.29%. So it was the final number for November for Bitcoin. So spectacular, right? Spectacular. Compare that to 2020. We had 43%. Not bad there. And look what we had in 2020. We had 47% in December. So what are we going to get in December 2024? Another super big month. And then bust that 100K Bitcoin, right? That's the kind of the destiny I think we've got there. Currently down 1% starting December. But hey, look, I think we had that for October, didn't we? October was kind of negative for October. So starting off negative 1% on the, second day or something. So lots of upside there. So keep a lookout for that. That's going to be pretty exciting to see where that goes. We also had 38% back in 2017. So let's see where that goes. Right, let's jump over to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment got a golden cross, right? It's in play. We've got the orange line, the 50-day over the 200-day blue line, and we're currently at $3,628. We've had a high so far of today, $3,762. So looking very good there. Our previous local high was back here on the 12th of March, and we had pretty much around 4,100. We haven't taken out the all-time high of 4,900 yet, and of course we're looking for big things potentially in this bull market for Ethereum. 10 to 25k, probably in the mid to upper range there, especially if Bitcoin breaks out to these big numbers of 150, 180k, and of course beyond that could be really quite stupendous about how high Ethereum could go. So not bad there with where the prices are. So looking pretty good, still. Dogecoin, let's have a look at the meme coins. We've got Doge at the moment, 62.3 billion, up 7.7% for the week, down almost 5% today. We've got SHIB is up at 17.4 billion, up 18%, down 5.9% today. So some pretty good valuations there. Pepe number 3, 8.5 billion, is up a 7.3%. I remember seeing Pepe launch in the first couple of hours, and I was looking at it. So it was pretty interesting back then. A bit of history there. Let's have a look at what else is going on here. Brett base chain is up 18.7%, almost $2 billion, down 10% today. Peanut there, which is entered the top players, up 12.8% at 1.3 billion almost. Popcat, down a little bit this week, 9%. Where else is looking pretty interesting? We're going to go to our dog. Our dog's still up here, but it is definitely a cheaper entry, waiting for that spot listing, right? They've had future listings on OKX and Kraken, really good milestones. They're obviously ranked pretty high on the Binance futures. I think they're probably about number 4 or 3 at the moment, last time I checked. And of course, they're pulling back just a little bit at the moment at 660 billion. But once they get that spot listing, one of those top tier ones, this will be really racing. So things are still moving pretty well for the old dog. They're on Bitcoin, number one man on Bitcoin on Rune's protocol, of course. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's check out the summary. On this one, we've got 3.5 trillion. I said 3.3. We're actually at 3.45 trillion market cap for crypto, and volume is pretty awesome, up 80% at $288 billion. There we go. Now Bitcoin halving, obviously, we're waiting for all this banana part, right? This big, we had double top in 21, back here in 2017, we had this big banana part here. We're waiting for this, right? Back in 2013, we had this big banana part. We're waiting for this, and it's just started to happen. You can see it in the chart, just starting to happen. We're going to get that big bull rally where the mad gains are happening. So that's kind of cool. That leads us into the main topic today, which is the birthday. So let's talk about that. I'm talking very statically today at the moment. We're going to get into that in a minute, but let's see. Crypto Fury. Hello, everybody. Hey, Crypto Fury. Big shout out. Now, we're going to talk about Mafia coming up at the end of the Pulse Chain update, which is what we're moving on to now, our second part, the Pulse Chain. 13 days until Mafia update. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Pretty exciting. All right, so let's get into it. Without further ado, hey, we've got David Hale dropped in there. Hey, David, how you doing? Well, what sort of car is that? What's that car in your picture there? Let us know. All right, let's get into it. So Richard Hart, woohoo! He posted this out yesterday. Was it 2:59? So about 22 hours ago, he posted this, or maybe 21 hours ago. And he says Hex turns 5 today. 5 years of perfect, flawless operation. Hex is up to 6x the price in the last 6 months. Even Bitcoin is impressed. Hex is immutable software that's more secure because no one can change it ever. There are no middlemen. It's just you and the code. Hex is an innovative, secure, useful software that does things no other software does. Run it yourself today and see Hex.com. Now, it's had pretty much 100,000 views on that in that time frame. So that's a pretty good number of eyes on Hex there today. So big shout there from Richard. And let's have a look at the results at the moment. Day 570. Can you believe it? Since Pulse Chain launched. And we've got Pulse at the moment, just taking a bit of a breather today after having, really good little push higher. We're at quadruple 0783, down 6% on Pulse. We're sitting at 78% of the mean sacrifice price. Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0547, down 9.5%. And that is sitting at 55% of the mean sacrifice price at the moment. And the total buy and burn is at 1,112,709 million. So there we go, slowly ticking up there, 5.555. How about that today for the 5-year birthday? I know it was I guess it was yesterday, today, depending on where you were, but still on today, isn't it? The 3rd, yeah, still today. 5.5%, 5.55% is on the buying bin. That is hilarious. For those that like their numbers, that is pretty funny. Incentive $3.73, down 11.5% there. Ratio though, look at that. Look at that, 47,777 pulse there to one incentive. That's pretty awesome. That's got a lot stronger. And look at that price, man, $3.73. You guys happy with that? Bet you are. Bet you are happy with that, especially if you're in the farms. If you're in the PulseX farms, you'll be happy. Hex there is at 2.27 cents on Pulse Chain, down 4.5%. eHex at 4600th of a penny. And that, of course, that just came off 0.5 cent, didn't it? So there we go. Combined price, eHex and PX is 2.73 cents. So looking very strong. And look, it looks like it's just getting ready for that really big break, that break level. We've had two big moves for Hex, and it's the third one that's going to be the big trigger, right? The big trigger. So you know what to do. You know what to do. Hex there at the moment. Looking for that big trigger. Once it goes to that next level, game on, right? Game on, and then you can slap yourself with some, some water on your face or something like that. Hex about to do some magic, All right, so let's quickly look at some of the other ones here. Gas prices. We've had obviously very elevated gas prices. Look at this zigzaggy thing. Look at that thing. It's been really high, and of course you've been playing a bit more on the old pulse than you expected. We're at 3.6 million beats at the moment. 10 cents for a PulseX swap. 2 cents for a PRC20 transfer, and 6/10 of a penny for a Pulse transfer there. Ethereum at the moment, it's been really high today. Did you see it up at like 70 Guaya, stuff like that? It's 26 at the moment. 328X. We are on a weekday, of course. We're still 328 times cheaper than Ethereum. Looking at validators, 48,745 dollars. Obviously, Pulse Chain's full DeFi chain, and the bridge. We've been looking at this magic bridge. Woohoo! $150.3 million, looking solid. Keep a lookout for that, because I'm sure we're going to 200 million and beyond, bring on that $1 billion mark someday. Exciting times ahead, I'm sure, for Pulse Chain. So that's pretty much it for day 570. Of course, we've got 5-year Hex birthday party. Let's get into a couple of the other ones that have been, people have been talking about, and that is PDI. PDI back down there, sort of came back down to about 1.7 cents, went up to 2.2 again. Back now down to 1.88, but it's up on the last hour, up 5%. Wrap Bitcoin, which has been doing pretty awesome, got up to $2,700, something like that. Now at 1,390, but it's still green on all time horizons there. A nice little pullback. A Troper as well, 12.5 cents. USDC coin, very similar to PDI. These are the speculative ones. If you're in the maker theory and Richard Hart, then those are the ones that people have been rallying on. SolidX looking pretty good, $32, $33, worthy of looking out, because they're going to have that crash game coming up there from Dragon X founder Eric, and of course Firewell, is Randy Lasky's friend, who's sort of founder of that, as far as I understand. What else is looking pretty interesting? Let's go through some of these others. Obviously, the Grays currency have been doing really well, down today 30% though. And lots of these other ones, even Liquid Stake Deep did very well, didn't it? Up 75% for the week, 2.2 cents. So lots of opportunities over on the old Pulse chain there. As you guys know, Aave obviously doing well. Lots of tops of PRC20s doing well recently. Real takeoff time there, and I'm sure it's just the beginning of where things are heading. Now the maker, of course, we're looking for that. People put that public website up. I think there's 3 days left, maybe something like that for that. And that is at $44.47, holding up pretty stable, actually. You need that, of course, to vote. Let's see whether Richard takes notice of that. We will see. We'll find out. Now, looking at the Magic Art Ride, Ethereum price at the moment, 3,627, and the Magic Art Ride ETH is down 25 million, down 3.9%. And you can see that it is really recovering here, almost back to break even. So that's pretty cool. Original entry was 645 million. Currently we're at 620, and doesn't take much, does it, in the price for that to go golden, And of course, will it be used for the maker theory? It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, collateral? We shall see. Now, I wanted to go back and let's talk about the Hex birthday. Should we do that? Let's do that. Let's talk about the Hex birthday, because we're going to play a little flashback. And some of you guys might have seen this. Before we do, though, let's get into it. Hex 5th birthday. Happy Hex birthday, everybody. Crypto Fury says it, and I say it too. Our Hex has reached toddler stage. Yeah, woo-hoo. Yeah, 5 years old. That is true. 5 years old. Big shout out to Archie, the Don of Dons. Good to see you, Archie. Hope you're doing well. We had a good chat there in the last hour or so in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, join up. It's a great place to be. Lots of good friends here enjoying the bull market together. So definitely join that. We got Empty Corner in the house there, Hex Token channel member, 27 months of support. Big shout out to Empty Corner. I really do appreciate it. Woo! Happy birthday, Hexkins. It's been a ride. Absolutely. It has indeed. Now, Empty Coin is one of the longest supporters of the channel, so a big shout out there. A veteran of Hex Token channel. Big shout out. Now, we're streaming, of course, to 3 YouTube channels, Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X, over 10,500 subscribers. A big shout out to everybody that watches. The big one there. All right, so let's see who else has jumped in here. Growing up fast as Crypto Fear. Yeah, 5 years old. And if you guys remember being at like primary school or whatever, first year of school at 5, yeah, just let us know. Happy rise, says Hexdana. Have a good day, indeed. PDI is still in its infancy, says Brennan. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, there's been a little bit of distraction between PDI and Hex in some ways, isn't there? But I think when people are not looking at one way, the other way goes up, right? That's kind of happens too sometimes. People go, well, what the heck? I was looking over here and then something happened over here. Does the vote end this Friday on the Maker DAO? I think so. I think it's coming up in a couple of days' time, 3 days. I did look at it like 2 days ago, didn't I? I'm not sure whether I've got it pulled up, actually. Let me see if I've still got that saved. I'm not sure whether what I saved it as or where I saved it. Yeah, let me just scroll down and see whether I've got it. I got so many websites saved over, you know, because I've been covering Pulse Chain ever since the first day. I've got all these websites. No, it's not on this browser. I must have saved it on another browser. Yeah, it's on another browser there. Anyway, let's get into a few things. So a big shout out to Empty Corner there for support. There's Brennan there. It's what like Magic Wookie appears. He does indeed. Just when Archie's around, you can tend to appear, don't you, there, Wookie? All right, let's get into it. Let's get into some flashbacks here. Hex 5-year birthday. So let's get into it. 100,000 people have seen that from Richard. Now I went back and I went to Web Archive, right? And I've looked up the old Hex here from December 2019. So what was the birthday? 2nd of December 2020. 2019. 2nd December 2019. The kind of the 3rd was when we got the results. But this is the website, right? Hex averages 40% APY for US appreciation. It's kind of a snapshot of it, so you can kind of see different leaders here. But it's got this kind of gives it all on one page. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of where it is now. A snapshot of what it looked like in the past. Look at that. It's got heaps of videos too. Obviously, these are on different pages, but you know, it's all on one page here. But pretty cool. And now we can see hex.com, right? Where's hex.com? Let's go see today. Let's go see today. Hex.com today. Wow, it's evolved. Look how that has changed. How has that changed so dramatically, right? Look at that. Pretty flash today, isn't it? So it's really come a long way. As the old Hex there. A lot less menus there. Pretty cool. So that was kind of a flashback to the website. Thought we might do that. Now, we've also got some history, right? Before we get into history, let's get into Richard Hart and see what he said on when Hex launched. Let's do it. This is like within the first day, like on the 3rd or 3rd of December 2019. Let's hear what he had to say on his mammoth 7-hour live stream. So this is the beginning of it all.
I've waited a very long time for this day. It's finally come. I'm very happy. So let's talk about what happened. We've had the contract done, you know, the code that makes Hex what it is, for a good long while. And we just wanted to make sure absolutely everything was right. So we got 2 independent audits from 2 different auditors. We got a mathematics audit. That's 3 audits. They're expensive and they're time consuming. And they do 2 things. They, 1, convince you that there's no bugs. And 2, they present that evidence to the audience in a format that they can understand. So if you look on hex.win right now, down under the security tab, you can see how to use hardware wallets with MetaMask, which is the wallet that we suggest for Hex. And you'll also see the mathematics audit and one of the security audits. Now,
so that was just a little sneak peek of a 10-minute video, which I summarized on the Hex launch that Richard did for 7 hours. Do you notice something else in the picture? The green candles were lit. Isn't that cool? So it's very special when Richard lights the green candles. The other thing, of course, Hex broke a lot of ground, right? Had these audits. I think crypto had come off a year or so since the bull market from 2020. From 2017, 2017 to come into a lot of scams, and 2018, 2019. There were lots of scams out there, and so doing audits was really quite groundbreaking. Doing a financial assessment as well, and legal opinions as well, like on the Howey test. Richard did it all, and of course, it was really groundbreaking. So it gave a lot of confidence, and of course, we got into some cool history after that. So we're going to talk about that. That's a little sneak peek from the blast from the past there from Richard. Pretty cool. So let's get into some of the history and talk about that. Let's get into some of the history here. Now, we've got some of the history here. It's from a Medium post some time ago, but it has some of the pre-launch things. As early as November 2018, Richard Hart introduces Bitcoin Hex at the Crypto Finance Conference. If you guys have watched that, it's well worth watching. Obviously, he did the called out Craig Wright there in November as well. Some really cool things. Now, we got here Hex snapshot occurred for the first Bitcoin block mines at UTC time, 1st of December there. Post-launch, 3rd of December, Hex launches, AA lobby starts, 21,000 Ethereum went in there, yeah, boy. 21,000 Ethereum, yeah. Do you guys remember the first day? If you were there for the first day, Richard said, don't FOMO in. But everyone FOMO'd in. It's crypto, come on. Everyone's going to FOMO in. 21,000, and I think there was only a billion. Yeah, billion Hex up for grabs that day. It was pretty crazy times. Certainly people woke up a bit. Now, how much is that worth today? Well, that would be worth $75.6 million. That ETH today, $75.6 million getting below. So pretty awesome, and it was fun times. Now we obviously had a lot. Richard was YouTubing a lot with different people, having good debates on there, as it were. 7th of December, first Hexologist daily show. Now, there were a bunch of influencers out there on Hex, obviously doing referrals. People were out there referral for the AA lobby. There were a lot of big influencers. I would say a good dozen were out there shilling their referral. And I was back there in the day as well. Unfortunately, some of the channels got their channels taken down. And rip to that, right? Rip to that. And therefore, I had a bit of a break after that. And then came back later in the year, if I remember rightly. So that was pretty much it. The fun times. What else we got? We had lots of people obviously talking about Hex as a scam, even though it was trying to, had all audits and everything else, because the AA lobby had all that drama. And of course, the drama feed into everything, right? Kind of cool. We had lots of different, lots of different things happening. Day 43 of the AA lobby with the highest Hex to ETH transform ratio. 1.8 million Hex to 1 ETH at a time, and you got a little snapshot there. So that was pretty interesting. So you had lots of cool things happening. We got into April. Now, some of the things, there's a lot of things not on here. Like there was a couple of websites like Hourglasses, and there was a website that gave you tokens for your Hex, and they got rugged. People fell for that, unfortunately. 20th April, first Discord syndicate screen. Like I said, there were a lot of influencers back there that were shilling the referral code for the AA lobby, so they don't get talked about much these days. Some of them lost their channel. Some of them decided to end up moving on to other things, but that's kind of it. There's lots of other things I could comment about here, but we won't do that. We'll move forward. And yeah, pretty crazy. Let's see here. Someone did a 48,000 Bitcoin claim with the biggest amount of Hex claimed in a day. How about that? Not bad. 14th of May, Hex reaches first major all-time high of just under 0.7 of a penny. Pretty big deal there, actually. And of course, I don't know if we had it in here. Back in April, I think it was the Hex Gold Whale candle was around here, around April. If I remember rightly, somewhere in there. Kind of cool. What else there? Let's see there. Hexologist did a 24-hour live stream on the 25th of May. Pretty interesting stuff there. Staker app released 17th of October 2020. And of course, there are some key dates on here, I think, missing here. Hex reached a number 10 crypto market cap on Nomics. Nomics, RIP, Nomics. Pretty big payday pump. 2nd of November, Hex price hits second all-time high of 1.5 cents almost. Pretty crazy. 18th of November, Hex price drops again on the market sell-off. Do you guys remember that? Remember there for that? Yeah. Concerns about reduced big payday payouts. Of course, the OA went and staked all its Hex. What did it get up to? Was it, let me just remember. I think it was it 88.7%? Was it something like that? I have a faint remember somewhere in that mark. That mark was pretty high. And so they've dropped, instead of people getting like 200%, they end up getting like 30% bonus or something like that. There's a lot of people trying to do one-day stakes, right? They're not big one-day stakes things. What else we had? 8th, 9th of November, big payday happens, 9th of November there. So that was pretty exciting at the end of the AA lobby, right? 351 days, I think, AA lobby. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. We see quite a few of those dynamics in a lot of the auctions that we see these days where, you know, the auction price ends up being close to the market price pretty much and gets closed out. That's what we see a lot these days. A lot of similar behavior. Yeah, pretty awesome. We had 31st of December, we had the New Year's Day pump. Price hits third all-time high of almost 2 cents, then immediately works down to 1.1 cents. Do you remember that? And of course, Richard was talking about that, wasn't he? He was saying, who knows what we get from New Year's Eve or something like that. So there we go. That was pretty crazy. 6th to 9th of January 2021, we had the first Hex conference on stream there with Crypto Sparbook, Hexologist, RD3, Richard Hart, and others. So pretty cool. All those videos aren't available now. So pretty exciting time. So those are some of the early things into 2021. And of course, you guys know what happened. 30 parabolics in the prices. So by the time we get into September 2021, the market price had gone to the moon with the big 10,000X, and so and one of the top 5 coins in 2021. And since that time, of course, we've been in a bear market. We've waited for Pulse Chain and PulseX. It's been up and running for 570 days now, and you know, Hex is starting to climb out into probably the next bull market rally. If you'd managed to accumulate. So there are some little insights there from some of those six. Pretty crazy. Empty Corner says the trick was to refer yourself if you couldn't find other people to refer. Yeah, I think it was 32%, right? 32% self-refer. So that was the trick there. Nice one, Empty Corner. The yield before the OA stake was insane, says Brennan. Yeah, it was on like 200% or so. And then it dropped down to about 30-40%, if I remember rightly. What Tin Top's in the house? What's up? Hex can say the Tin Top just celebrating and reminiscing about 5 years of Hex in the beginning. So hopefully we'll enjoy a little bit of that flashback. Looked at Richard's 7-hour mammoth live stream on the 3rd of December in 2019. We looked at the beginning of that. We looked at what else? We looked at a few things there. I might bring this little video in and we might play the little end of it. How about that? Yes. Let's do the end of this video. We're going to right to the end here. I think some good stuff at the end. We'll see. Could be wrong about that.
Chat room over the last week or two, I think. I should publish the stats. The rate at which, you know, I would go to sleep for 4 hours. I'd wake up and there'd be, 1,000 messages. So if I slept 8 hours, it would be about 2,000 messages. And then it went absolutely crazy today. You can't do these types of world-changing, impactful things without help from people. You just can't. And what I found is that people that are passionate about the project are just hyper efficient. They really, really care. We've got, all right, guys, it's been absolutely fabulous.
So this is Richard after 7 hours. You guys remember all of his super long streams. This was at the end of the Hex launch. Pretty awesome. 21,000 ETH, remember, when that first AA lobby day. Crazy stuff.
I haven't heard anyone's voice, but I felt connected.
There we are. Haven't heard anyone's voice, but I felt connected. How about that? So that was pretty cool. I love having a little flashback there of Richard Hart there. Very, very cool. 5 years, Hex birthday. Of course, immutable code. People get to interact with it. And first, it's a CD on the blockchain. Very, very cool. And of course, now sitting on top of Pulse Chain with massive fat liquidity behind it. Magic carpet ride potential, make a DAO potential. Lots of incredible things could be happening that people have never seen in crypto before in the next year on the old Pulse Chain. So you guys are still here, just at the right time. You're still, if you want to get something pretty nice, you can pick it up. That's all we can say. Not financial advice to you and due diligence, all that good stuff. Now we've got the court case coming. the verdict from the judge there, probably somewhere in the next 30 to 60 days. We're obviously going to have the change in the SEC and a different path forward, which could end up being an insurance policy in any regards for the case. So, and maybe it just gets dropped. So we've got two paths to glory there in terms of that SEC. But in any case, the Magic Carp Ride and maybe the Make It Theory and other things that continue to play out there, Pulse X Farms, OA movements, all sorts of things can come to the party and create glory after glory, as it were, on the old chain. And Richard Harkin tip his top hat at the end of it all. How about that? All right, that is kind of cool. Boy, it was just kind of emotional, really. It was kind of emotional. All right, let's get into Pulse Mafia. This is to wrap up their Pulse chain comment, and Hex, of course, is that the map is only 13 days away. Yeah, boy. Now, the big news, of course, is that the map's coming. And the second big news is that I joined Telegram today. Yeah. So I'm on Telegram as Superman Crypto number 8. So it's got 8 at the end, Superman Crypto 8. And just joined, obviously, the directorate and all the chat groups for the directorate. So big shout out there. The Consigliere Gary is in the house. So now we've got all three leaders of the directorate alliance over on Telegram, as well as in our Discord. So it's good to be over there and representing the head of the family there. Big shout out to all of the capos and all the family members in there. It's going to be a fun time. And, Pulse Chain, Pulse Mafia is going to be not just the number one GameFi on Pulse Chain, and, of course, multiple chains, right, BNB and other chains, but also the first metaverse. And I can't understand that enough, right? The first metaverse over on Pulse Chain. So big deal. This map is going to be a big land grab. So we're going to look forward to that. It's going to be fun and open up more of the economics as well. Brennan says that the price Hex can reach, the cycle will melt mines. Yeah, hey, look, we're talking dollars and dollars. It's really going to be pretty exciting where Hex will go in the cycle. So yeah, you can pick how many dollars, but definitely it feels like dollars are on the cards. And the upside could be quite mind-blowing, as you say. Good point. Let's see how's there. Crypto Fury can't wait to become a virtual landowner in the Mafia-verse. I like that, the Mafia-verse. That is true. A big shout out to Crypto Fury crushing it out there in the family. So that's pretty cool. Excited about where this is heading. And look at the vault at the moment, guys. Look at the vault at the moment on Pulse Chain. It is $480,000 worth, just at the price of Pulse at the moment. That's on a pullback. And once we get the land, the map opens up, it's going to fill that up even more, right? So the vault's going to get full up with more Pulse, and the price of Pulse does 2, 3, 10x, 100x. How big is this vault going to get, man? I mean, seriously, it goes from $480K into multi-million dollars very quickly. So excited about that. Obviously, it's also on BNB. So we'll quickly bring up BNB Mafia as well. We're here. And have a quick look at the vault there. So we got 206 BNB. I think it's about 140 grand, something like that, 50 grand, something like that. So that's not doing pretty well. And of course, who's dominating? Who's dominating? The syndicate. Yeah, the directorate. We're dominating. Woo-hoo-hoo! The OG gangsters weakening off there a little bit. Hey, what's happened to Lucky is the unlucky life and death of Lucky, as we say. That's one of our inside jokes inside the directorate. No, we're a bit cruel, but it is a mafia game after all. Come on, guys. We got the Magnus, we got the Black Thistles there, we got the Warriors. How long are they going to be hanging around there? A couple of new influencers in the group here too. Good to see. The more influencers and the more community members, the better. We got the Yakuza at number 6. How long will we stay there? We'll keep a lookout for that. But pretty cool. The syndicate number 1 over on BNB Mafia. And of course, as you guys know, we are also number 1 over on Pulse Chain. Let's quickly have a good look at that. Yakuza at number 1 again. Big shout out to the Don of Dons, of course. Archie is in the house. He is the man, the myth, and the legend. And of course, people keep on. Some people out there, especially in some other families, think they can outsmart the Don, but the Don continues every turn. He outsmarts them every single turn. Even it's talked about. These are on the rumors of the street that even the Godfather, the developer of the game, Jacob, is even fearful of Archie. How about that? That's how much fear Archie installs. It's quite mind-boggling, really. But hey, look, when you're the best genius player on the field and there's no one near you, it's a little bit like trying to deal with Einstein and the general relativity theory, right? He just crushed it with such simplicity. It's beautiful. Well, as we like to say, simplicity is the best way to go there. E equals MC squared. Come on, guys, let's go. All right, so looking pretty good is the old directorate. We're at number 1. We're at number 4 and number 5 on Pulse Chain. The Syndicate and the Hustlers in the house crushing this game, right? And we haven't even started. And already, we could tell you some big players are already waning. They're already, their minds are waning. They haven't got the mental strength. Not only do you have to be a genius player, but you have to have that mental strength to be able to endure. It's a marathon, and the sprint will come, but it's a marathon at the moment. So remember that. This is where we're at this stage. All right, lots of fun coming for the first metaverse and, of course, number 1 game on the planet for Pulse Chain. Mafia Vault is building up nicely, certainly is, man. When the Mafia Vault is worth millions of USD, can't wait for that too. People will FOMO into Mafia tokens, says Brennan. Absolutely, they will. All right, and remember, there's only a million. Was it a million? No, a billion tokens, and yeah, it's only a billion tokens, so it's going to be eaten up pretty quickly. When people see the top families pulling in thousands per week, I like how you're talking there, Crypto Few. You're quickly, easy at twisting my arm there. So that is the Pulse Chain update. 5 years of Hex. Not bad, not bad. What a day. What a fun show this is today. Is everyone enjoying it? Because I am. Now we're going to bring up Shogun, X28, TitanX, Magnus, Opus, and we're going to talk about the market prices. And yeah, we're finding a bottom at the moment in the prices. We're also going to be talking about Turbo and Hyper. Obviously, Turbo launched a little different, right, because it has ratios. So Dick Screener found it a little bit difficult to pick up on the first day, but we're going to talk about that too. So without further ado, let's get into it. And bam, how did I get big? How did I get big? I don't want to be big. Let's get small. Let's get small. Let's go pull up the, let's share the screen. Let's share the screen. Bam, let's go. All right, I love that Superman thing. See the Superman emblem in the back? It's so good, honestly. All right, so here we are. What's the best performer? X28 Shogun. So as we know, so X28 up 8.7% today, sitting at just below 7,000. The ratio, I guess it's sitting at 1-to-1, is it? Oh, no, it's Shogun, isn't it? So it's all different. So we got 6.37%, 284,000 liquidity. So everything's pretty much still on a pullback at the moment. So there's lots of opportunities to be had here at the moment. What else have we got? We're not going to go through all these. I just want to jump through certain ones of them. TitanX at the moment is sitting at 6,000. So 6,000. This is the medium exchange along with X28, right? Well, it's actually X28 TitanX. You can see they're both pretty much sitting at the same 6,000. I think the ratio is pretty much 1-to-1. Yeah, 1-to-1 X28. Now, this is working really well so far, really well with the burning, right? So we've seen people going into X28. That is the omni-chain version of TitanX. So TitanX is kind of the Ethereum only chain. X28 is the omni-chain that's not being activated yet. So the multiple chains not being activated yet. And so we've got the people going into X28. And at the moment, I saw the benefit of going in X28 at the moment was 1.5%, was it? Let's have a look here. Let's see how much. Oh my goodness, 1.7%. So you get a better deal. Instead of buying X28 with TitanX on Uniswap, you get 1.73% better deal going in through the transform here on the website. So that's a really good extra deal there. And of course, you know what happens with the TitanX that goes in here? 50% goes in and gets burned, gets destroyed. And the other 50% is used to the buy and burn, goes into buy and burn and buys X28 off the market and burns that. So it's a win-win to go through the transfer. So not only are you getting more, you're getting a better deal, but you're also burning the TitanX supply big time, and the X28 supply. So pretty awesome there. So that's ticking away at the moment. So 6,000, pretty good little entry. Let's have a look at TitanX at the moment. Let's see here. So we're going to jump over here. That is the price at the moment. So where are we up to? We're back down at support levels, back where we were at the end of September, around 6,000, and waiting for what everyone's waiting for, that wave 3, right? The wave 3. And so waiting for that at the moment. So far, all the metrics are going extremely well for TitanX. So let's go quickly look at TitanX metrics on this one. We're at 68 trillion in liquid. We did have, was it two stake days? And I think that's what's filled us up, where we had about 2 to 250 billion come out. That's probably impacted this. We were down at 67 yesterday. So we started off, remember, our sort of a peak inflation there was at 71.5 trillion. We're now down to 68. We were down to 67, but we did have a couple of days of decent stake still coming out. So that's probably what's filled it up. So we're sitting at 68 trillion liquid at the moment. But keep an eye out on this. We're still early days because Shogun is only on day 5, and we've got 5 hours to go there at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Shogun yield, 130% at the moment. So people are going to still plow in there. And obviously with the Shogun price down a little bit, that's going to lower the yield entry in there. And so at the moment, we've got 470 billion TitanX in there at the moment. So keep a lookout for that. Only 5 hours and 18 minutes to go. So that's kind of happening there. Let's have a quick look at the total TitanX burned. And we've got X28 is at number 2. So 3.6 trillion TitanX has gone through there. 3.7 trillion has been burned so far of TitanX. Shogun there sitting at 4.2 trillion with 3 trillion there burned. So, X28, Shogun doing its job. I know that Jake Sharp wants them to be number 1 and 2. Obviously, Hyper is in the way there at the moment. And Hyper obviously doing 12.6 trillion and 7.4 trillion burn. So a little bit more work to do there, but feeling pretty good. This, not even 5 days finished Shogun. Probably going to head to there probably in another, I don't know, let's say another 5 days, maybe 6 days there. We shall see. Maybe 6 days there until it gets up to Hyper, for example. But some pretty cool things happening there. So that's looking pretty good. Good entry there right now for TitanX as well. And of course, the third wave, which is typically 60% more than the first wave here. This is the first wave. This is the second wave. And we're waiting for the third wave. The third wave, typically like this first wave, but with like 60% more. So it could get pretty high. I have the numbers here. Could get up potentially up to 4 zeros to 1,000. Probably face a bit of resistance there, of course. That's kind of the upside using a third wave analysis, like an Elliott wave. And if we're just using a Fibonacci extension, which has got more modest prices, then we're looking at 2,500 to maybe to 5,000. 1.68 to 3.61 there on that third wave. So looking pretty positive between maybe 5,400 and even losing a zero, getting down to 1,000 at 4 zeros. So let's see where that goes once it starts on. You guys know it. Once it starts to rally, it's going to be pretty severe, especially with all this TitanX being destroyed at the moment. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. Let's have a quick look at some of the others. Looking forward to Morpheus, of course. Morpheus is going to have a DEX coming out. Looking forward to that. Hyper, of course, peak inflation for Hyper is benefiting from the launch of Turbo today. It was a little confusing at first because of the ratios, but I think that's all been fixed up there. I'm going to look at that in a minute. So Hyper there down 19%, even with the Turbo launch. Looking forward to probably a ramp up and use the Turbo in that. In Turbo. What am I going? Hyper here. Sorry, Hyper. I should say in Turbo. I'll probably ramp up in Turbo there. Let's see what else we've got there. DragonX, of course, waiting for the Death Star, the secret mystery projects. Some big stuff coming from Eric. He only delivers the big AAA stuff, and we're looking forward to that. So really good discounts on at the moment and all these really bullish projects. As TitanX is going deflationary into hyperdeflation. Hydra there is down 22%. Now, peak inflation for Hyper is pretty much around the 7th or 8th, I think it is, of this month. And then Hydra is about the 15th. You get to double check that on the dashboard, but I think that's about right. And I think around the middle of the month, Hydra's peak inflation. Let's put it in a different way. Peak minters are coming out around there. So the 88-day ones there. Volt is just slowly ticking away there. So Volt is sitting around 2 cents at the moment. The Volt Vision looking amazing. CVD's coming up so with some really clever ideas. Multiple utilities, of course, includes, and we're going to get probably the Wheel and Volt Thunder staking in January. And we've got more pillars coming out in December from the looks of it. So that's going to feed the Volt auction there. What else? We've got Shogun down here at the moment. We'll talk about that in a minute. And Turbo, which just launched. So let's go to Shogun quickly and have a look at Shogun. So Shogun price there. Every time the auction closes, we see a bit of a sell down. That's what we've got here at the moment. Actually, this one's been a bit more continued given the sentiment of the market there. So we're sitting at 6,500th of a penny at the moment on this. We were sitting up, what's this on the hourly here? This is the hourly chart, by the way. We were sitting up closer to 1 cent just maybe 12 hours ago. So that is where we are at the moment. And obviously very good value, even at this price level, still 130% in the Shogun auction at the moment. Now, what we're going to expect is that the bots are operating, so I want to talk about that. So we've got Shogun ticking away. They're good prices at the moment to get in there. Now, obviously, that's going to do some sort of U hockey stick eventually. But part of the secret sauce of it is using the bots against themselves to feed the price floor in Shogun and burn off Shogun. So it's burning about 1% a day at the moment. But of course, let's get into the LP. I don't have all the LPs here. There are about 24, I believe. I've only got 18 on here. I haven't been able to pick up the other ones, so just deck screen won't let me pick them up. But I've got 18 of them here. And we can see that we had some pretty big moves earlier today. We had X28 Shogun LP. This is on V2, remember, so it's got its own, Shogun's got its own LP list here. It is sitting at 288K. Now, that was over 300,000 today earlier, and Shogun's over 320K. So that's going pretty well. Jake Sharp's been commenting on that. Shogun now has 600, this is only about maybe 2 hours ago, was it? 8 o'clock, probably a bit lower, 5 hours ago, sorry, 5 hours ago now. And so it's 674,000 24-hour volume across all peers, all feeding the Shogun machine, 858K in liquidity. Now, here's the full 24 in this. I only have 18 on my list. He's got 858K in total liquidity and 674K in volume. This is 5 hours ago. And about 60% of it is being used by the bots. So 60% about the bots, and that's feeding the buy and burn. So we're burning about 1% at the moment. So doing really well. Just as as intended from Jake there. That doesn't include the buy and burn itself, and of course LP fee accumulations. So it is really cool. Remember, the bots are paying the 8% tax, right? And it's doing pretty well. So let's go look at the buy and burn. Sitting at the moment, we've got 900 billion TitanX in the buy X28 with TitanX. We've got the Shogun buy and burn sitting at 600K at the moment, with 972 billion X28. So those are ticking away there at the moment, with about 156 and $174,000 buy pressure. Looking at the stats on Shogun, liquid is at 371 at the moment. In fact, I think I got a snapshot from yesterday. Let's quickly look at this. I got a snapshot from yesterday. Wrong, that's TitanX. Let me just jump away from there. Pretty sure I got that one. Let me have a look. What day is this one? It's 2 days old. So 2 days ago, I thought I had one today. Let me just, must have one surely. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, I do. I'm sure that one there's from yesterday. Yeah, I got yesterday's one. So yesterday's one, I got this at 6:20. So we're not quite full. We're about 18 hours ago. We had 317 million Shogun. We've got 371 million at the moment. Obviously, we had the fourth day close during that time. So more inflation came out. Now, we had war chest at 26.7 million 18 hours ago. We've now got 35.4 million in the war chest. And the war tax burned is at 2.7 million. We're now at 3.4 million. So that's all those metrics are going up. Very cool. The burn has gone, buy and burn's gone from 9 million to 12 million. So that's going up too. So everything is ticking away pretty well. And I think Jake's pretty pleased with all that. So I think that's going pretty well. What else there? Yeah, so he's highlighting the fact that you got a better deal, 1.7% now. He's got 1.5% there. So pretty cool. What else there? Let's just jump through some of these. What about the X28 farm there? So yeah, X28 is also an input token. This means X28 volume will burn Tink. Yeah, so I think we've got some farms going on there. Let me have a look, quick pull back there. Let's go X pairs. Yeah, so X28 pairs an hour ago have been added to the Titan farm. So that's super bullish there. That is very exciting. Let's go check that out actually. So that's just come hot off the press there, folks. How about that? Hot off the press. So let's go to Titan Farms and pull it up. So very bullish for X28. You've got to get on board while the first sort of like 5-6 days, kind of the early point to get in, and then it starts to, these LP falls and the bot fees, the trading fees start to ramp up, and of course getting things like TitanX, Titan Farm support is going to really start elevating that too, as people try to get X28 to go on these farms, which has only just launched, which is pretty cool. So let's go to the Tink and find that out. Where's Tink at the moment? 42 cents on Tink. Let's have a look here and jump over to the farm. Have a look at this new farm that's out. So this is pretty much hot off the press. Hot off the press, yeah, boy. All right, so there it is. Look at that. Wow, 318%. Boom, boom, boom. So it's X28 and Tink, actually. So 318% yield on that. Looking very, very good as well. What do we got there? We've already got 72,000 liquidity sitting in at the moment. It doesn't have the percentage. Not have the percentage. It is an input token, so the fees will get burned. So that's important for Tink. We've got what there, 36,000, 61 billion X28 and 83,000 Tink at the moment. So that's kind of bullish for Tink there as well. Yeah, very cool. All right. So that is pretty much that at the moment on the old Tink farm. So that's good news. So we're going to spread the word around that. Check it out. If you want to, leave a reply, get in there on that one. So that is the latest news there. X28. Remember, X28 is basically TitanX, but it's omni-chain version. And of course, going into X28, you burn TitanX 50%. So it's actually a win-win. It all starts feeding on itself, right? So X28 Tink farm. That's just come out only an hour ago, so you're getting high yields getting in there. That's pretty much not financial advice, of course, but it's self-evident there. What else? We got more money in out. News crypto could explode. Hey, thanks for that there. Appreciate the shilling. All right, let's do that. So all right, so we're going to again jump past from there. Pretty exciting. Let's see what else we got there. All right, so we're going to jump away from that. And so yeah, that's all going very, very well. And you can see Jake's pretty happy with that too. And so yeah, I've been watching these liquidities to see them fattening up. So that's kind of the key thing I've been looking at the moment. Let's jump over to what else have I got to say about that. I think that's it for the moment. Just looking through some of these. So I've got other screenshots. I'm just not sure what date they are. So that is where we are. What else was I going to talk about? TitanX. Yeah, so we've talked about Shogun doing extremely well. I think even with the price down at the moment, we expected the price to decline for a little while. But we're on day 5, so day 5, 6 could be the turning point there before we start getting some move back to the upside. Now let's go have a look at Turbo. Now obviously Turbo launched, and this was bullish for Hyper. Obviously Hyper is the input token there. And we've seen a lot of volatility. Obviously, we didn't have proper prices feeding. You can still see liquidity is not being picked up by DexScreen at the moment, but the protocol itself is running pretty well. You can see Turbo Hyper. Hyper is the input token. So let's take a look at the website. DexScreen is really not pulling it in properly. We can see the ROI is 1,800% at the moment. Now, I think the ROI was around 300%. Yesterday. So let's go quickly. I think Crypto Connoisseur had something on that. I think it was Crypto Connoisseur had something around the yields on that. Let me just double check. I think he did. Yeah, 100% on that one, but I think pretty sure he had something on the yields being pretty high. Yeah. So this was a limit. This was 10 hours ago, 11 minutes to go, and the yield was sitting at 395%. So looks like some people on the first day got some pretty outrageous yields there, probably because of the confusion over the DexScreen not feeding the prices, because there are a ratio between Hyper and Turbo not having a stablecoin equivalent. So yeah, that was probably the case. But as we can see now, the stats have all been updated. So maybe what's this? Stevie D, some magic in the background there. So we've had 1.43% Turbo burn so far. We've got 395 million liquid supply, and we've had 5.7 million burned, 103 million in the treasury. Remember, it starts off with 100 million, and so that's tinkering away there. And at the moment, I think the Volt and the Viper yields are already pretty low, so a lot of people have gone into those already. 122% on Turbo from the looks of it. And the auction is ticking away there with how much in the auction? 100 million Turbo. We're on day 2 for this, 14 hours to go, and you need a Hyper to go into it. So far, we've got 11 billion Hyper in there. We had 213 so far, so it looks like on the first day we had about 202 billion Hyper going in on day 1. There we go. We've got 17 people participating so far. So there we are, ticking away. It's doing well. And of course, this will feed the Vault Perpetual. So we've got another project turbo feeding the Vault is pretty much how that's going. Currently, the price 2,154 turbo to 2,154 hyper to 1 turbo. That is the ratio at the moment. All right, I think that was kind of it. So that's tinkering around. If you've got some hyper, that's definitely an option you can consider there as well. Now, obviously, all these pillars are going to benefit from the Vault wheel. That's going to be deferred to January from the looks of it because he stopped the audits to add in the farming, buy and burn farming aspect that's going to be putting into that, which is going to help, it's going to take TitanX and ETH, and it's going to go into the farms as the buy and burn. It's going to take up 15% per day for the buy and burn, but the rest of it's going to be earning Tink and providing LP support in the farms. But that's looking like January. Presumably it's going to come out just before the Vault staking, but I don't know. I guess it should go probably just after each other. Hopefully in the first week or second week of January would be very, very cool for that. That's kind of the guesstimate there. We might try and get Stevie D on the show at some stage too. So everything is ticking away pretty well, and the bonus is that the market's still trying to find the bottom here on the prices before it does this kind of third wave that people are expecting. That's where we are at the moment. Let's jump over. Oh, the other big thing, of course, we've got, let me not talk about that actually. The other big thing is that we've got, this could change things very quickly as well, is that we're waiting for Ouroboros. So Ouroboros is in audit again. So we're waiting for Ouroboros with the stablecoin. This is massive supply sync for all the protocol tokens, at least the majority of them. And the issue is the stablecoin, which could add even more buyer demand. So we're looking for that. And it's still in audits at the moment. I'm pretty sure. I think we've got some replies here. Yeah, right here. Fine. This is second. So this is yesterday. Final audit in progress as we speak. So this could be launching within the week. And this is one of the big DeFis that's going to have a massive impact on the ecosystem. So just don't get caught off guard by that, especially with the prices, trying to find their current bottom on wave 2. USDX stable possible launch this week still. I think so. Kind of looking like that. We've got final audit in progress yesterday. This is a comment from yesterday. So it does look like it could be still, in a week's time, within the next week's time. Let's say by the 10th, within a week, could definitely be possible. We'll keep a lookout for that, but definitely still in audit at the moment. Awesome. Cheers, Super. You're most welcome there, Brennan. All right. So that is our update at the moment. So turning point for Shogun, probably day 5. So there's 28 days, right? 28 days. So we're 5. That means it's 23 days in about 5 hours time. We'll be 23 days left. When will the protocol really start to turn up that price? We saw Vault was like day 6, I think it was. Obviously, that was a shorter time frame because they had 10 days. So 28 days. However, Vault didn't have because Shogun is a Vault Element 280 hybrid. And so that didn't have all these V2 pools earning the 8% tax feeding that as well. So things are going to be a bit different, and in my view, way more bullish, as well as of course the X28 mechanism burning 50% of the TitanX, which is so far been pretty amazing. Now in the first 4 days, had to come down from 71.5 trillion down to 67. So that was 4.5 trillion inside 4 days. It's doing about $1 trillion a day. And of course, we're seeing about a 2-to-1 ratio between stakes. I actually think that that's going to pivot a little bit because of the liquid volume. So it's going to be interesting to see how the next 23 days go, where that 2-to-1 ratio holds between people going on stakes. Now, if you go stakes, you get the liquid equivalents. So you typically going to have to buy that. So we could have a perfect storm where the bots are earning, if there's 6% of the volume's bots, the volumes goes up in the next few days. We get the Ouroboros up in the 10th. The supply sinks and more demand with the stable coins. We attract more ETH that way. Obviously, there's other protocols launching as well. And we could really start to, and the buy and burn operating, we could really start to see things taking off. And that third wave could be pretty mighty. So we're going to look to see how all those stars align and see where that ends up. So that's pretty much it at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. What a day. Hex 5-year birthday. I mean, wow. Awesome, right? And we're expecting some big things for Hex in the 2025. It is the maxi strategy of this channel. I know I talk about a lot of other crypto, but crypto's fun, so I'm going to talk about good crypto, like good design tokenomics. I'm going to be talking about that. So that we really do also love Shogun, X28, TitanX. Looking forward to Turbo Day 2 results and Hyper being unleashed. And of course, all the other pillars that are going to be launched as well for other protocols. Bull looks like it's up next for Inferno. So that's going to be good for the Inferno crowd. And yeah, really excited to see this bull market in 2025. December's coming out, Christmas time. So we're going to get that Christmas run, are we? We're going to break that 100K, get 120K Bitcoin. Man, game on, game on. Altcoin season January. Does anyone like that? Someone like sound of that? Sounds pretty good to me. Let's see where it all lands. But everything is looking absolutely incredible for the just a spectacular bull run this cycle. Yeah, there's still a lot of opportunities out there to pick up some nice little gains, especially on some of these little pullbacks at the moment and some of your favorite tokens. So get in on that. Should be really good. I'm going to be in Discord. Don't forget, links in the video description, and I'm going to grab a coffee first and then come into Discord. So the links are in the video description. Join that. If you want to join Strategy Club, $35 a month, pretty good. We're just constantly pumping through information and intel in there, having good chats. So jump on that. It's $35 a month. The links in the video description. If you just want to join the Pulse Chain X Discord, only $5 a month, just a cup of coffee, and you can join up and get into a chat. It's really encourage you to make some new friends online, and really safe environment too. Now, that being said, I have joined Telegram, and man, it is pretty wild west over there, I must say. There's so many spammers and scammers over on Telegram. But hey, look, I'm now there, the consigliere of the directorate, and so the map's coming out in 13 days. It's time to be there, and as part of the head of the family, welcome to the family. As part of the head of the family, we're going to be there, and got a meeting, I think, coming up on Sunday, maybe. I think it is. So looking forward to Monday, Sunday. So with a lot of the head of the family there. All three of us are going to be there, as well as all the capos and family members. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, take care, and we'll catch you on the next session. What day is it? Tuesday. So I'll probably catch you in 2 days' time on Thursday. Hope you guys enjoy, and bye for now. Cheers.